It is May 11th, 2023, and I think it's a good idea. I'm going to start probably adding prepper stuff to my BitChute channel and other uh, places I do my videos or upload my videos to, like YouTube, Odyssey, BitChute, Twitter, and other little places I like to pop up on and make people mad. We're back onto my Walmart.com page here. I don't recommend you buy shit at Walmart. You go to Lowe's or Home Depot. But Walmart sometimes will give you a pretty good deal on Chinese made shit. Or it might be American made, but if you buy it from Walmart, 90% of the time it's going to be Chinese made shit. And same with Lowe's and Home Depot. They have a lot of Chinese made shit there too. Until American people decide to start saying, fuck these commie bastards. We can make it bigger and better here in America. Make it last longer instead of have it work for a week or two and you have to go rebuy the Chinese shit to replace the shit that you bought and waste your money on. Alright, well, it is springtime now. Why am I talking about heaters? Heaters are best bought in the summertime when you don't need them. I have a Big Buddy heater and I love it. And I could tell you why. The bad thing about Big Buddy heaters, they used to have a built-in fan that was battery operated, or it had a little adapter that you could plug into the wall to operate the fan if you had power. They stopped putting the little fans in the units. You don't really need it, but it's nice to have the little fan. It wasn't an expensive fan. It was just pretty much a computer fan. It would blow the heat out away from the unit a little bit. There's two types of Big Buddies. You get the Big Buddy or the Little Buddy. I prefer to, just depends on how big of space you're living in that you need heat in. But if you're like living in a travel trailer or something, a Little Buddy should do the job for you. Big Buddy will definitely do the job for you. It'll toast you out. You'll be going, holy crap, crank the windows open, we're burning up. But the bad thing, if you are in a travel trailer and you have a Big Buddy heater that you want to use for heat, propane will produce moisture inside your rig or inside your houses. Your windows will fog up. Then you start having water puddling on your floor from all that moisture just starting to pool and run down your walls and make a mess. But if you're freezing, who gives a shit about a little water? Just get some towels and lay it next to the walls and hope for the best and wring them out when they're too wet. But other than that, I happen to be in Texas, and I've been here for about 12 years, and I lived in my travel trailer for good 12 years. Never had problems with power. I was living at an RV park. Never had any issues in the wintertime with power or summertime with power, just sporadic power outages due to weather or something. somebody smacking into a power pole and busting the telephone pole or whatever and knocking the power out by stupidity. But other than that, about 3 years back, we had a spring storm from hell. It snowed for 2 weeks, non-stop. And our Texas power grid couldn't handle the load because everybody was freezing, had power on, and then all of a sudden we're starting to have brownouts, or the power company was actually starting to tell the customers, you will have power for 2 hours, then we're going to cut your power off and let some other part of the grid use the power for 2 hours, and we'll rotate. The neat thing, I was in a travel trailer. My travel trailer I had, still do. Didn't affect me too bad. I have a generator in the back of my truck, and that would have gave me all the power I wanted to run electric heat and all that. But my generator's like a 250-pound generator, and I was by myself. Could have called neighbors, alright, can you help me get my generator out of my truck? And it's snowy and cold, and I'm like, fuck that. And I did install dusk to dawn lights inside my travel trailer that are solar. I love those. They work great in travel trailers. You just stick the solar panel on your window from the inside and let the sun charge your dusk to dawn lights. You turn them off, and when you're wanting light, you just click the switch and bam, you got brighter lights in your rig than your rig's lights for at least 5 or 6 hours, and you're not wasting your rig's battery that would normally supplied the indoor lighting and your refrigerator and all that crap during a power outage out in your hot water heater, which hot water heaters really in the travel trailers when you're off grid is be propane. And I was never a big propane user. In my travel trailer I had toaster oven, had microwave, so if I want to do cooking I'd just use my toaster oven or the microwave and cook with that, and that was fine with me. But other than that, I wasn't worried about losing the power for 3 or 4 hours and then poop, the power come on and everything's normal and blah. But I was more worried about freezing temps, and I was too lazy to go drag my generator out and hook it up and have to go make sure gas and oil's in my generator and start it up, and all of a sudden you get all hooked up, started up, the power comes back on, and like, oh son of a bitch, power's back, go turn off the generator, and then hook up the power again from the shoreline power, and total pain in the ass. I said, oh fuck that, I got a big buddy heater. The reason I bought a big buddy heater for my travel trailer was I figured the big buddy have 2 panels, heating panels in them on both sides. You don't need to have both sides burning at the same time if you don't want to. If one panel, one heating pad's gonna work for you, hell, use it. You don't need to have both of them on. You'll burn yourself out. You're going, holy crap. The little buddy only has one of these little elements in there. But unfortunately, my little buddy, I bought it probably 3 or 4 years back before this big snowstorm. they discontinued is right when COVID hit. I do believe they stopped putting little fans in them. And I was like, oh, fuck, I bought one that didn't have the fan in it. I don't know if they reinstalled the little fans in the little big buddies or little buddies, if they're starting to put them back in or not. But I'm stuck with one that doesn't have it, which didn't hurt me. I was nice and toasty with my big buddy. The reason I like the big buddy is you could buy this hose for the big buddy to hook up a 20-pound propane tank, like a barbecue grill tank. Or on my rig I had 30-pound propane tanks that you could have hooked up to that if you wanted to, and then strung this out to inside your rig somehow and do it. But I was too lazy. I just had the hose. They have another hose that you need to buy a little oil adapter to screw onto it and then hook it up to your big buddy or little buddy. The little buddy you have to do that other hose. Let's see if they show the little hose. Which the reason you have to have that little oil filter adapter is the hose will seep oil from the propane going through the hose, and oil will get into your little buddy or big buddy and gum it all up and fuck it up, and it won't work until you clean it. So, but the bigger hose with the quick connects, it has a regulator on the hose, which is good. You always want to have a regulator on the hose. And the quick connect is nice. It just snaps right in to your little buddy. Has a little port just for that, or your big buddy does, just for that. The other hoses you have to screw on to the port and have that inline filter hooked to the hose to the heater unit, and that costs money. So you get the big buddy and just buy these big hoses, the bigger hoses that has your regulator on it, quick connect, and buy those 20-pound bottles. 20-pound bottles will last you way longer. Again, with the big buddy and little buddy, you could buy the 1-pounder propane tanks, and those are fucking expensive now. They used to be pretty reasonable. Usually before COVID, you could get those 1-pounders at Walmart for six 1-pounders for probably $3. Now they're like $20 or something or more. You're like, holy crap, somebody's ripping you off. But the neat thing with those little 1-pounders, you can buy a little refill adapter that you hook up to a 20-pound tank and screw into that little refill adapter and reuse those 1-pounders, refill them. The only problem is you better have you a scale. You could go on YouTube. There's YouTube videos on how to refill those 1-pounders with the 20-pounder tanks. You see some videos where people freak out because they've overfilled those 1-pounders, and they wake up in the next day thinking their bottles are going to explode because they overfilled them. You got to put them on a scale. Make sure you got 1 pound of propane in there. Anything more will make those bottles possibly rupture because you have too much in there for the propane to expand, and something's got to give. But most of those 1-pounders have a pressure relief valve. Hopefully they'll work for you. That's what they're there for. But just in case the bottle got overheated, you filled the bottle and it's cold, and you didn't put on a scale to make sure you got 1 pound of propane in it. You put 2 pounds in it, and then when the day warms up, that gas expands in those little tanks, and things just look like little hot dogs about ready to explode on you. It's like, oh crap. So that was the neat thing. You get the little 1 pounder, so you went deer hunting and camping, you could have little 1 pounders, and the big buddy, you're able to have 2 pounders. You'd have 1 pound here and 1 pound over here, so you had double capacity for overnight camping or a couple day camping. You could survive on maybe, I'd say about 6 1 pound bottles. The 1 pounder bottles gave me about 6 hours of heat, good heat, where you're like, wow, I'm pretty hot. If I wouldn't have, put it on real low or something, and I probably would have had about 10 hours of decent heat, especially in my little travel trailer. My travel trailer was 27 foot long, and about 12 feet high. So it's a nice travel trailer, an old Prowler. So it kept me nice and toasty, but other than the humidity that the propane produced inside the trailer, that's the problem with propane heat. Like I said, if I had power, I'd normally use the little space heater. You can buy the little space heaters. They're like 1,000 watt to 1,500 watt space heaters. I never really liked to plug in my space heaters and have it at 1,500 watts while I slept. I always put it down to the low setting to 1,000 watt. Due to the outlets in RVs are made out of plastic, and with space heaters, electric space heaters, you'll get resistance going back to the outlet. You can feel your cord starting to warm up, and that's resistance from that element draw that you're drawing the heat, make heat from that space heater. And unfortunately, it could crawl back into the power line or your power cord into your outlet, and the outlets are plastic, and next thing you know, you got your little RV fire, or your outlet plug will just melt on you. Like, oh shit. The good thing is the outlets are cheap. They're probably about $4. I haven't priced them for a while. I had to replace one outlet due to that, and it only cost me like $4 to replace it. Do it myself, but you have to have pretty good mechanical skills when you live in an RV, or else you'll be homeless for a while because you're an idiot, and you need to take your RV in to have somebody replace a plug. You're like, oh fuck, I could do that. Just have to make sure you know what the hell you're doing first, or else you will have a fire. And the bad thing about travel trailer wiring, it sucks. It's not 12 gauge wire, it's only fucking, if you're lucky, 14 gauge. If I would think it'd be even maybe 16 gauge. And the wires I was looking at were pretty ass thin. I was like, Jesus Christ, and I'm pulling 120 through this shit. I'm surprised the fucker didn't just burn up on itself. So yeah, you learn a lot when you full-time RV or full-time in a travel trailer. You learn a lot about your power systems. You have a 12-volt system, you have your shoreline 30 amps system, or a 50 amp system, depending on what kind of rig you got. Fifth wheels would be 50 amp, a regular bumper pull travel trailer, no matter how big it is, unless you have 2 AC units would be a 30 amp. But if you had like a 2 AC unit in a travel trailer, you probably need a 50 amp service installed in your rig. But most of them would be standard 30 amp for bumper pull travel trailer. Fifth wheel would be 50 amp. So you learn about your 12 volt systems, where your fuses are for those. Little car fucking fuses, pain in the ass. It's like I can't see which one's blown. Do I have to pull one out at a time to toss them out? Sometimes you might. Sometimes you could test it with a good little meter. If you have a good meter, you can test it. But pain in the ass. But for the most part, wiring sucks in travel trailers. Travel trailers are pretty nice to live in these days because all the accessories you got. You got microwaves, you got an oven, you got a stove, you got a bathroom, shower, good shitter, and nice queen size bed to sleep in, and you might have some bunk beds in your rig. My rig would sleep 6. I have 2 bunk beds. The kitchen table slides into a bed, sleeps 2, and then I have a nice queen size bed for the main bedroom, which is nice. And you can buy yourself a Wi-Fi router or something. If you're living full time at an RV park, you get the cable from that RV park, for your computer and TV. Some parks offer free Wi-Fi and free internet, which is awesome. The RV park that I stayed at didn't. You had to pay for that. You'd have to go through the cable company to have them come out and hook you up. But it was nice. I had my own Wi-Fi router, so I had free Wi-Fi, so I could take my laptop outside, enjoy the summer mornings or evenings outside, and watch deers and turkeys and RVers walking past their little damn dogs, or whatever critters they thought they needed to have to live in a travel trailer. Would I recommend you having a dog in a travel trailer or a cat? I personally wouldn't. It's just a lot of mess. Animals just tear the shit out of things. Same with kids. Would I recommend a family moving into a travel trailer? Hell no. Kids just get bored and tear shit up. Next thing you know, your RV or your travel trailer is all a piece of shit. It's like, God damn it, man. Because the furniture ain't the best furniture. It's just laminated fucking plywood with some laminate on top of it. Unless you spend $1 million for a rig, which is fucking insane. It's like, hell no. I ain't gonna have $1 million fucking trailer. That's fucking stupid. I'll spend 10 grand, but I ain't gonna spend 60 or 80 or 100 grand for a damn unit. You crazy fuckers. You got too much spare time and too much money to spend on stupid shit. But they are nice, and you can fix them up. You don't have to stick with the furniture you have. You can upgrade, build your own. But there's a reason why the furniture is like that. Your rig is rated for so much weight. You can't overload your trailer. Your wheels will fall off, or you might fall through the floor. Like, whoa, shit, man. So If you like the minimalist lifestyle, you don't want a lot of shit, just stuff that you need, not what you want. You could have some wants, but your needs will be more important than your wants. So, well, you can have a little knick-knack here and there, it won't be in the way, but you start collecting shoes and collecting fucking toys like you do at the house, and you'll be tripping over shit, going, fuck. What a pain in the ass that is. But you could have some fun, good toys, one or two of them, and then maybe get bored with them and sell them and try to get something more fun. But for heating in emergencies, little buddy heaters work great for the house or for a travel trailer. 12-pound bottle of propane, I guess propane now is probably about $59 or something to get a refill. I haven't priced propane for a while, but if you have a refill station, it's always cheaper to go to a refill station than it is to go to Walmart or Stripes or whatever. So I need to exchange this bottle for a full one. But in emergencies, it's good to have, I would say, 4 20-pounders, just in case you get stuck in a shit sandwich like I was stuck in for 2 weeks of on and off brownouts. 3 hours of power, they'd cut it off to go put the power somewhere else on the grid for other people to have power, and then 3 hours later, if they would be on time, sometimes you'd get screwed. They wouldn't turn your power on for it might be 5 hours. Oh shit, we need to switch. We were busy drinking coffee and jerking off on the internet while these other people were freezing their nuts off. But I had heat, so I was happy. I was like, oh fuck that. And I had my dusk dawn lights for light, so I had plenty of light so I could read books, and I had a lot of stuff on my laptop that I could watch movies and games and stuff until power came back on, so it wasn't all gloom and doom. And I had plenty of food I could eat, so I lived through it. But just watching the news reports of people that had houses and their power was off and their pipes were busted. With the travel trailer, hell, you turn the water source off and drain your tanks, and you might have to put a trash bag in your toilet and take a shit in a trash bag, and take a little fucking stealth run with a bag of poop in your hands. Poop and piss to the dumpster run real quick, so I'll get rid of this. Or you might just save up for a couple of days. So, we got us a big poop bag here. Better double line it. Don't need a leak. So I did that. I said, hell, I'm not putting waste into my tanks in freezing weather and have my tanks get busted because there's water. You have to drain your tanks, your gray water and black water, which at the RV park was neat because you had a septic tank right at your spot, so you didn't have to hook up your rig and take it to a dumping station and come back and hook things up again. So that was pretty sweet. You just drain your tanks and turn off your water and protect your water hose bib, and if it broke, you called the manager. Hey, your water line busted over here. But most of the time the RV park would turn off the water anyway, so if you didn't do it, the park did it. So it's like, oh well. So it wasn't bad. I was happy. I was funny. I had some newbie full-time RVers, some Mexican couple with some kids moved next to me, and they bought a new rig. And about 2 days into that snowstorm, they packed their shit and went into a hotel. I was laughing at them. I was like, "You're paying rent here. Now since you don't have power, you're freezing." They didn't have a big buddy heater, a little buddy heater, or any other propane heater they could use. During that situation, all those big buddy and little buddy heaters flew off the shelf. There was one in Texas if you could find one, especially where I was at. It's like, oh fuck, all the 1 pound bottles were fucking history. So, it's good to be prepared. You can buy those little 1 pounders and stock them up for emergencies. I did have like 20 1 pound bottles, but that only lasted for about almost a week. Then I switched to the hose. This hose. I had the other hose, which would work on your big buddy heater too, but you have to buy the oil filter to screw onto the hose. I don't see the other type of hose. We could scroll through it. That you do have to buy the little adapter, and the little adapter, that thing costs money. So you have to have that hose and that little oil adapter, because the hose bleeds oil into your big buddy or little buddy heater if you don't have that little oil filter system in there. So you have to buy some of those to be on handy, because you don't want to gum up your big buddy heater or little buddy heater with oil. So it's better to get the big buddy and have those. That's that little refill adapter you could buy for a 20-pound tank to fill up those 1 pounders. They're pretty nice to have. I have one. So I need to refill my little 1 pounders. I haven't got to that. It's been a couple years since I had that. But I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm just going to stick with the 20 pounders and the quick connect hose, which is made not to bleed the oil through the hose into your big buddy heater. And on golden. So, but maybe they disconnect. Maybe they stopped making those crappy screw-on houses due to they're fucking up a lot of big buddy and little buddy heaters that were hooked up to 20 pounders. If you use the 1 pound bottles in the big buddy, little buddy heater, you don't need to worry about the filter. It's just when you want to use their 20 pounders or your 30 pounders or 500 pound propane tanks that you could buy. If you're a full-time RVer and you stay in that RV park for a long time, you could buy those 500 pound tanks. It's a lot of propane. But like I said, if you're living at a full-time RV park, I prefer using electric. At the RV park I stayed at, you had to pay for electric, but shit. I'd say 99% of the time, and I like to be cold. I had my AC on, and I like to be hot when it's cold, so I always had my electric heaters on, and I ran my computer all the time and watched TV and cooked and stuff with the microwave and my toaster oven, and my power bill was always just right under $100 a month. So I was like, oh, I can deal with that. It's not that bad. But you get a bigger travel trailer, like a fifth wheel, you probably be almost $150 a month because you've got more space and you're using more amps because you got a 50 amp service now. I had a 30 amp service, so there you go. So it looks like they might have got rid of. See, these are the little electric heaters. Like I said, electric heaters. They don't produce the humidity or the water problems with your windows. Your windows won't steam up using electric heat. You're probably asking me why didn't you use the heater the unit came with? You know, all travel trailers have propane heaters in them. Like I said, I really didn't waste my money on buying propane. I didn't use propane. I always used electric. I kept my propane bottles filled just for emergencies. If my power did go off, I could run my heater, but unfortunately the heater part of the heater, the fans, run off your rig's battery. And if your battery dies, your heater to your rig won't work. So it's like, But like I said, I've been out here in Texas for 12 years, living full time in a travel trailer that I bought, and enjoyed living in that. And before COVID hit, living full time in a travel trailer at RV park was pretty cool. You met a lot of neat people. But when COVID hit, shit, no, you're fucking staying inside your travel trailer saying, well, I'll wave at you, but I really don't need you to come over and breathe on me and give me your crap. Don't give me that Chinese crap. I don't want it. Let's just look up Big Buddy heater hoses. See what they have. Hoses. See if they got what we're looking for. Okay. These are the cheap ass hoses that bleed oil that you'll need the filter for to screw onto here, and then you'll screw. You really want to screw the filter onto your little buddy or big buddy's port, one of the 1 pounder size ports. With the big buddy, you'll have two sides. You have the two 1 pounder tanks. With the little buddy, you only have one port because it's only going to have one bottle that you can use at a time, because you only have one heating element in the little buddy. Let's see if they have the regulator. Actually, see if they have their filters available. But these hoses here, you don't need the little oil filter. But if you buy these hoses right here, you'll need the oil filter that they sell for them. And they're probably about there you go. They're about $7 or $8. Oh shit, that was way off now. It's $34 for one of these things. They'll last you for a while, but $34.05 for one of these. They used to be like $3 or $4, but $34.05. Holy crap! I should have stocked up, but actually, since I have the other one, Um, See, these hoses don't have the regulator, so hopefully you could get a 20-pounder tank regulator that you could screw this onto your tank, because you definitely don't want to go without a regulator going from your 20-pounder to your little buddy or big buddy heater without a regulator on your tank, because they're gonna push some pressure in there. That bottle gets too hot, and that could cause a flame up, catch your place on fire pretty bad. But yeah, last time I bought one of those filters, I actually bought 2 or 3 of these filters. They were like $3. Now they're $34.05. Like, jeez, if I would have known that, I would have bought a case. But that's why I I bought the other hose as fast as I could. I was like, please let these things be in stock. The quick release hoses, with the regulators. I bought this hose. That's even high. That used to be about $20. Now they're doubled in price with Biden's criminal administration fuck ups. Fucking Treasury, dumb bitch. uh, Everything's fucking tripled in prices here. It's like, holy crap. But it's good to have at least a couple of these hoses for spares, just in case, you know. But like I said, with these hoses, you don't need that fucking $34 fucking oil filter. It's just for these, and these don't have regulators. Just this fucking hose right here will fill up your little buddy and big buddy heater full of fucking oil from the hose, from the propane going through the hose. It'll leach into the hose and blow it into your big buddy heater and fuck it up. And then you're out of heat and you're pissed, cold, and going, Jesus Christ. So I didn't look at the prices of the buddy heater. Let's see. Let's go back to the big buddy heaters real quick and see what the prices are now. I think I bought mine for about $150. I don't know what they are now. I wasn't looking. Not bad, about the same. I don't know. I can't remember what I paid for mine. Like I said, the little buddy just has one heating element and only has one 1 pound tank. Then you can buy that cheap hose, because there's no quick connect on the little buddy. The big buddy will have a little port that you have that quick connect hose to pop into and have your 20-pounder ready, and you got plenty of heat for a good day or two. The thing that I ran into was I wanted to buy an empty bottle. You know, I went to Stripes, I went to Walmart, and during this major spring snowstorm from hell, that made everybody's water pipes bust, and people had icicles in their houses because the power was out. And I was praying, I was thanking God, going, thank God I live in a travel trailer. I don't have any of those issues. My travel trailer's a good 3 feet off the ground, so if there was a flood or anything like that, I wouldn't be flooding away too bad unless it was a major flood. Start seeing Noah's Ark flowing by. You're like, oh shit, we're in deep shit now. But didn't have any major issues. So I was happy. I was like, whoa, I got heat and I got my dusted on lights that are giving me plenty of light, and had things on my computer I could watch and games I could play until the power came back on. But like I said, I do have a nice Honda generator, which is awesome. It has 30 amp and 50 amp service on it, and 110 outlets if I wanted to drag it out of the back of my truck and keep it out in the snow and get it all fucking dirty and messy. It's like, yeah, that's a major pain in the ass. I'll just sit inside of my big buddy heater and be toasty and play on my computer until my computer battery pittered out. But did that, had plenty of food, so everything was good. Had plenty of things to drink, so life was good. But these poor little Mexicans, though, they had a nice travel trailer. They're newbies. They didn't have any kind of emergency heat, and I think their battery must have went out, because when your battery goes dead to your rig, you're kind of SOL. And normally if you're hooked up to the power shore and your system's working right, you'll have a built-in battery charger that will keep your battery charged for you while you're hooked up to shore power, and you can run your heater, your propane heat if you had it, if you wanted to, without power, other than your 12-volt battery that runs the heater fan. But they left the rig all by itself and moved into a hotel, which I got distracted, and they went to a hotel, which was totally fucking stupid, because the hotel was in the same situation. They'd have power for 3 or 4 hours, and then the power would be turned off, and you're spending more money now because you got to pay for a hotel. You're like, you're in the best situation you could be in a situation. You have a self-contained travel trailer. No, you don't have drinking water in your fresh water tanks because you had to drain that. No, you can't flush your toilet into your gray water because you don't need your black water tank and gray water tanks to bust because you got water in them. No, you don't have running water, but I did have power. Actually, I had drinking water that I stored. You always have be prepared and have drinking water available for emergencies, and I had juices and cokes and beers or whatever I prefer to drink. But I had handy wipes to wash my body down if I needed to feel a little sticky. It's like, I'll get some baby wipes. They work pretty good. I had trash bags, like I said. Toilet was nice. You just double line your inside of the toilet with kitchen trash bags, 20-pound trash bags, double line it. Then you can piss and poop and wipe your butt with your toilet paper, and off you go. If you want to go for a dumpster run and throw it in the dumpster, who's gonna know unless you got a dumpster diver in your dumpster? I found a bag of poo. Lucky you. Stop fucking doing that shit. So yeah, never know what you're gonna find in a dumpster, especially when it's in an emergency situation. If you're out there in the snow and freezing weather and diving in dumpsters, you're a fucking crazy person. Like, what the hell, man? So, but like I said, my big buddy heater saved my ass. I was happy. These poor little stupid Mexican people bought a new travel trailer, packed their shit, and went to a hotel and had to pay extra money. They paid for the rent for the RV spot for the month, and they went to a hotel that's not gonna have fucking any power. They'll have emergency power, but that's usually just keep the hallway lights on and fucking elevators going till they run out of diesel and gotta go hike down the road and get some diesel from a stuck semi or something if that guy's willing to give up some diesel. That happened to me in Alabama when I lived in Alabama. I was working for a hotel, and we had a freak snowstorm in Alabama where we had like 4 feet of snow in Alabama. There's no fucking highway trucks, plows, or shit to clear the roads, and I was working at Sheraton outside of Birmingham and Irondale, or actually it's Cahaba Heights area. It's a nice Sheraton, and we got that freak snowstorm, and all the employees were pretty much snowed in. If you worked, you were stuck. You ain't going home. You're gonna take shifts to take care of the stranded guests that are walking in off the highway, and hopefully we had room for them, which we ended up doing okay. The hotel made some good money, but we were running on an emergency generator because the power's out, and we all had to take turns lugging a 5-gallon bucket of gas buckets down to the highway and walking up to semis and seeing if anybody's in there and knock on the door and offer the driver a exchange of either a nice room to stay in to wait it out, or whatever they could do to get the fuel from the truck, because we had to siphon the shit, the diesel out of the tanks, to lump it back to the hotel, because like I said, the roads were all snow covered and just stranded people everywhere, and we had to bring the diesel back to the hotel and get to the generator and dump it in the generator, keep the generator going until power was restored. And that was like a week ordeal, and that was pretty fun. We had a good time. We just took shifts. Some had day shifts, some did evening, and some did graveyard. Graveyard, you're pretty much just being security, making sure everything is hunky-dory. Then wake up in the morning and walk back down to the road with your gas tanks, trying to find diesel. And maybe a driver to come back with you. Here, you can help carry this shit. But I was happy. I was happy I was working, because if I would have been able to go home, I would have been stuck at my apartment with no power and cold as hell, and it's like, oh shit, this sucks. At least at the Sheraton I was getting fed and paid, so I was like, hooray, thank you God. So yeah, I lucked out there too. It wasn't too fun for the guests. A lot of people come walking into the lobby with frostbite, because they're women with women's shoes on, which walking through the snow with those kind of girl shoes, your toes are gonna freeze. So I was like, holy shit, get these people bodies warmed up before they start losing their feet. So excitement. But yeah, when I got back to my apartment, I had water puddles inside my kitchen, and you could just rotten food in my fridge. I was like, oh, thank God. I would rather did what I did, worked through the shit at work, stayed at the hotel. We had to roommate with other employees, the hall dudes and all girls. The girls stayed with the girls and the dudes stayed with the dudes. And on your hours that you could either sleep or party with all the other employees that weren't on duty. Sit back and have a beer and just have a fun time telling stories. And then go up and do your shift and come back and either get some sleep or hang out and do it some more. So I think we got about one more day of this shit, then we could go home and see what kind of crap we got at the house. So yeah. But yeah, my big buddy heater, like I said, the big buddies are great. You don't need to use both sides. I just like to be over prepared. I figured, hell, I'd rather be burning up than freezing up. So, put it on low, only have one side on. Hell, I was toasty. Like I said, I had food, I had plenty of juices to drink and water. Couldn't flush my toilet, didn't have running water, but I wasn't dying of thirst or anything. I had milk in my fridge and all that. Like I said, my fridge would run off of my rig's battery, and by the time the power came back on, the battery was getting recharged, ready for the other 3 hours of power, and then another 3 hours without power. So all my food, my fridge and freezer was honky dory. So I couldn't complain. But when I watched the news reports from the city of the homeowners with second stories and their living rooms having icicles hanging through the ceiling down to the floor because their plumbing upstairs busted, and they couldn't fix it. It's like, oh shit, what a total disaster. So yeah, I bet you they were wishing they would have had a little buddy or a big buddy heater, maybe one or two, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. Keeps your pipes from busting. But yeah, it's crazy. And you learned a lot with travel trailers. You can't do like you do at the house. Keep your water lines from busting. Open up your sink water or something, let it run a little bit, keep water flowing through your pipes, and then it won't bust your pipes. You can't do that in a travel trailer. And have your gray water and black water valves open to drain into the septic tank, because your sewer hose is outside on the ground and that's covered with snow and freezing weather all around it. So what you're doing is you're making ice. You're making ice in that sewer line, and sooner or later that sewer line is going to be solid ice. And since you're running your water, it'll start backing up into your travel trailer from your toilet to your tubs to your sinks, and all of a sudden you got a holy fuck. Holy fuck, I got a fucking situation here. This sucks. So don't do that. You'll fucking be pissed. And you'll probably fuck up your trailer. It's like, well, I always wanted a new travel trailer. You live and learn. So, no shortcuts in travel trailers. You gotta be tough. You say, fuck it. Freezing weather, you turn your water off, drain your tanks, and fucking wait for the afternoon where it's above freezing. Then you can turn your shit back on and take a shower. And then drain your tanks again and wait for the nighttime, because it's going to be freezing weather again. So, but summertime's how pretty sweet. Not too bad, but Texas is nice and hot and humid, so definitely need to have AC for your AC to work. Your air conditioner will be gone. keep you nice and comfortable instead of sweating your nuts off. That sucks. So. But that's my video on the big buddy heaters. Like I said, that oil filter really shocked me how expensive that little oil filter is. Like I said, this system here looks like they give you a little refill port. Just recharge your 1-pounders from a 20-pounder with a cheap ass hose that you better have an oil filter hooked to. When you hook up to your big buddy, or if you're filling a 1-pounder with this hose, you better have that oil filter on it, so you're not filling your propane bottle full of fucking oil from the hose, bleeding oil into your 1-pounder, and then you'll be pissed. So, but again, you don't fill these 1-pounders up without having a good digital scale. It's that is fucking calibrated, and it's giving you the right weight. And to be really safe, I would even put 1 pound of propane in 1-pounders. Most gas cylinders, you fill up to 80% just to give that bottle some expansion room so your bottle doesn't blow up on you. Even with the 20-pound bottles, they're not full to the brim. They're about 80% full on purpose, just for that purpose, to allow expansion in the tank so your tanks don't explode on you. So, but the 20-pounders with this hose here, it has a regulator on it, quick connect to your big buddy. You can't go wrong with that. That's pretty cool. I just kept the bottle inside my rig, hooked up to my little buddy, and just made sure my little buddy wasn't that close to the big bottle, because we definitely didn't want to have the big bottle going kaplawi inside my travel trailer. That would kind of make things a little exciting and really fucking cold. Oh shit, just burnt down my travel trailer. But I didn't have any issues. The other reason I like the big buddy and the little buddy heaters, if you got a pet or a kid, and your kid or pet happens to run by and tip it over, the little buddy or big buddy has a sensor on it that will turn it off if it's tipped over. The bad thing is your metal parts right here, they're fucking hot. You might scorch your carpet or your flooring if that hit the floor when it was been on and it's fucking like a branding iron. And your kid might have a neat little brand on his leg or something. It's like, oh shit, don't call CPS on me. He just fell on it. Has a racing stripes on his ass. I didn't do it. It was an accident. So, yeah, and I didn't have any problem with carbon monoxide. Good thing about travel trailers, you have an LP detector. It's pretty close to the floor, which is just for that purpose, because you do have propane in your rigs. And the LP detector is to protect you, to say, hey, you don't have enough oxygen in here, you got a leak or something, and that damn thing will start beeping and driving you fucking badass crazy, going, oh shit, thing's going off again. LP detectors are, at least mine was a super pain, especially if you smoke cigarettes inside your travel trailer and you didn't want to go outside to sweat or anything. You go, nah, fuck it, I'm smoking inside. Or freeze your nuts off to take a smoke break. It's like, ah, fuck it, I'm smoking inside. All of a sudden the damn LP detector is beep, 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 beep. Like, oh shit, hit the reset. and go off again. You're like, Jesus Christ, pain in the ass. Kill me now. Give me that carbon monoxide. But never did have an issue with my big buddy setting that damn thing off. Thank God. Just smoking cigarettes will do it. Piss you off. Like, damn it. Making me want to smoke more because I'm getting more pissed. But like I said, I had a fun time being a full-time RVer. I did it for 12 years. I started living in my travel trailer when I moved to Vegas. Picked a bad time to move to Vegas. I was in 2018 or something when the economy and the house market crashed big time. People were struggling to save their houses, trying to get a second job to keep their cars. And when I moved to Vegas, just as I hit Las Vegas, I felt something in the air. It was just like the light switch just turned off or something. Like, whoa, what was that? Surprise! House market crashed. Oh, surprise! The job market crashed. I'm like, well, not too worried because I saved up for this big move. I had a good paying job in Dallas as an AC tech for a big company and was making pretty good money, but I just got fed up. I was like, I'm making good money, and unfortunately I'm married to the fucking job. I'm on call, I'm going to college and working most of the time, not really going out and having a good time with dates and stuff. Or if I did make a date, might have to leave her. It's like, I'll be back in 2 hours, I hope, or maybe an hour less. Just maybe it's a small little fuck up at the work I need to fix and come back and join you. And that's always a pain in the ass. Like, Jesus Christ. So I figured, hell, I'll move to Vegas on AC Tech. People need AC. I won't have a problem finding a job. I didn't expect the job market crash or the economy crash at the same time because, unfortunately, I was real lucky. I had money saved up. My bills were all paid off. So the only bills I had to pay was my RV park I was living at. Rent was kind of expensive. It was like $600 a month, but I was staying at Arizona Charlie's RV park, and it was a pretty nice park. Had 24-hour security. They would ride their bicycles around, and plus they had video cameras out there, keep an eye on shit. And you had a health club, you had a hot tub, and you had a swimming pool. You had bath houses, which was awesome, so you didn't have to use your shower in your rig. You just go to the bathhouse, and they had private restrooms with showers or bathtubs and toilets in there, and you could take a very nice hot shower as long as you wanted, and they're private. The door locked behind you. You had a private little bathroom to yourself, so you could take a 5-hour shower if you wanted to, or a bath. Dry off, change your clothes, and off you went. Go back to your rig and do your thing. A lot of RV parks don't have bathhouses. The RV park I stayed out here in didn't have bathhouses, so that kind of sucked. You're like, well, it's alright. The rent was cheap, so I didn't mind, but the rent was getting more expensive by the year. It seemed like it would always go up about $100 every year or two. Like, oh fuck, it's starting to cost me money here. So unfortunately, my mom passed away about 2 years ago, almost 3 now. So now I'm living in her lake house, which is a small little cabin that she fixed up with help of my little sister and her husband. They did a lot of work here to get it livable. When I first saw what she was buying, I was like, "We can buy that, bulldoze it down, and put a fucking mobile home in there, something that's livable." But she redid it, and unfortunately she passed away. So my sisters were like, "Oh, move into Mom's place and take care of the taxes, and everything's good." So I do that. It's a lot bigger change because now you're paying more to live in a little house, but got a nice lake in the backyard and a pretty nice yard. It's on a hillside, so my backyard's kind of slopey. So free exercise, hiking up to the car and taking out trash. That's always fun. It's like Jesus. But you need exercise, so I guess I can't complain. Better than getting exercise at the house and spending money going to a freaking gym. But I do have a nice lake, so unfortunately I got a park that lets people boondock out there with their RVs and their generators and their music and all that crap that happens during the summertime, on weekends. And that could be a little annoying. And these people with their boats and their 1,000 amp stereos blasting with their big fat girlfriends getting water skied behind the boat screaming and having a good old time. Can't say I don't have entertainment. But again, living in a travel trailer was really nice because I didn't have to spend a whole hell of a lot of money. If you had a couple living in a travel trailer as a husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, you better like each other pretty good because you don't have a lot of space. You're probably sitting outside of your travel trailer relaxing a lot and letting your girlfriend have her space inside or whatever. Or vice versa. Switch it out. It's your turn to sit outside. Fuck you. But like I said, before COVID hit, it was actually enjoyable living full time in an RV park because you got new neighbors every week or two or every other day. Somebody pull in for the night or for a couple of days or a week or a month and get to know them and sit back and have a beer with them and tell stories and experiences and giggle a lot. Saying, "Oh, hell yeah, that happened to me too. That sucked, didn't it?" So, always fun times, but when COVID hit, that kind of really made things suck pretty bad. Because you definitely didn't want to meet strangers. Like, oh, I ain't gonna die for strangers. Somebody, it could be a maniac. That's the thing. That was a good thing about living in an RV park. You didn't always have neighbors. And so that made things very nice. It's like, I'd always get pissed. Because when I first moved into this RV park I stayed at out here, it was like a ghost town. I was probably the only one there, or at least where my spot was. I never had neighbors for at least 2 or 3 years. There were some other people that lived on the lower side of the park. I was on the upper side of the park, which was smart. If you ever stay at an RV park, you want to be up high. Because in Texas, when it rains, it comes down. And the people that were on the lower part of the park woke up with ankle deep water. They stepped out of their travel trailer and splash down because there wasn't really good drainage there. And it's all piled up at the end of the park down there. But if you were up high, you're nice and dry. You're like, oh, looked like it rained last night. Yeah, it's a little bit muddy down there. But I was happy. At the RV park that I stayed at was pretty special. I was hoping to buy the place. I was like, shit, I'd buy this and fix it up and buy me a job. Be a manager. That's a full-time job. You know, in an RV park, you ain't gonna get away. You just buy yourself a full-time job because you gotta stay there because you'll have arrivals coming in. You got maintain your park and keep electric things going and sewers going and deal with people. It's like, oh my God, what did I do? But I would have been the quiet owner. I would have just built me a house somewhere on the lot and have a trailer set up for incoming people, or build a office for people to check in and sign their spots, take their money, and have a maintenance crew to take care of the little issues that people fuck up with, either by pulling into their spot and running into the water supply or power hookup. You're like, oh shit, you should have turned a little bit wider. I had somebody out there to direct you a bit. I did like the RV park. There wasn't a lot of amenities. No health club, no pool, no picnic tables, no barbecue grills. That kind of sucked, but I bought my own barbecue grill. Bought some little tables, so it wasn't all that bad for me, and I enjoyed grilling outside, especially in the summertime. Hell, cook outside instead of heating up your damn trailer, cooking inside. Like, oh, that's stupid. We'll put it on the grill and have a nice steak or potato or something and enjoy the weather. But it was fun. But living at the little cabin here, I'd rather prefer to have my mom. I had to adopt her Democrat cats. Damn things don't eat mice or birds or anything. They'll eat a bird once in a while and bring it through the cat door, and I'm like, God damn it. Keep your kills outside and eat them. God damn it, I don't need the feathers and shit in here. It's a house. But they definitely don't go micing like they should be and earning their fucking food around here. Pisses me off. It's like, go get those damn mice. You're a cat. That's what cats do. Hell, why should we do that? You're gonna feed me free cat food. And so, oh, I'm just gonna sleep on your bed. Come up and smack you in the back of the shoulder and freak you out when you're sitting at your computer. But other than that, can't complain. Like I said, it's pretty sweet. I feel kind of blessed there. I still have my travel trailer in my driveway, so if shit happens in the house, I can move back in the travel trailer. But my travel trailer, poor thing, it's been through hell and back. Living 12 years in a travel trailer, it needs some work. It's almost time to just drag it to a dump and bring some sledgehammers with me and just knock the trailer off the frame and just drag the frame back home and build a tiny home on it or something. Start from scratch. But again, when you do that, you gotta really sit there and weigh things out, because your travel trailer has a weight limit on it. My travel trailer has dealies in the back, 2 axles, so it could hold some weight. It has like a 5,000 weight limit for the the axle, so that's a lot of weight. But if you're using solid wood and tiles, I laugh at the people when I watch YouTube channels. These people, they buy old travel trailers and they want to fix them up, put tile floors or tile on the walls and wood floors in them, and make them like cabins, like tiny houses. Put in porcelain toilets and pretty much try to turn it into a little apartment on wheels. Unfortunately, when you go on your first road trip after you do all that nice work to your damn travel trailer, and you get your destination, you think in one piece, you open your door, it'll look like you went through a San Francisco earthquake. Tiles aren't made to stay on walls when you're bouncing up and down on the roads, and as you're pulling your travel trailer, you're probably not really paying attention. You're just wanting to get to point B. You start from home, which is A, and you want to go to B, and finally get to your destination and enjoy your nice new little tiny house you built with all these fancy tile work and wood floors and crap like that in it, and you open your door and all your tiles on the floor and your wood floors all popped up. Bought a household porcelain toilet with one of those little porcelain lids like your house toilet has. That's on the ground. Probably busted your toilet as it hit the floor and bounced onto your toilet. And since it's porcelain, it's probably cracked. And then you're like going, oh, fuck. What the hell happened? You could do all that shit, and I recommend you to do all that shit if you're never ever gonna tow your travel trailer anywhere. You're gonna keep it on some private land to use as a little home away from home cabin travel trailer or something like that, where you've got water hookups and power hookups, and you spent the money to get all that shit in your property, and you got a sewer hooked up, or at least a septic tank hooked up. That's some major money there, just to have some getaway land. And I'm not too keen on leaving a travel trailer out in the woods like that, because there's always dickheads with guns that like to shoot that kind of shit. Like, oh, there's no cars around here. It doesn't look like nobody's been here for a week or two. Maybe a month, maybe a year. Let's sight our guns in here. You always want to shoot a window? Sure, shoot the shit out of that window over there. Kick in the door, see what's inside. So unless you're planning to live in the country out like that, out in the boonies, it could be a lonely life unless you got a wife and some kids or something, maybe some neighbors. But if you're just wanting to get away, but I'd bring all that material out to your land and build it out there, so you're not gonna have to redo it when you get your land. It's on the whole shit. So, but yeah, don't be crazy, because doing all that work to have it all fucked up, it's like, oh my god, what was I thinking? You weren't. You're just thinking, oh, we could do some neat shit, make it look like a castle, something exciting. But leaving that out in the woods, or even having a cabin out there by yourself, on some lonely property out in the boonies away from civilization, that takes you a day to get out there. And you bring all your supplies in once a month or something. It's like, But leaving that shit all unattended, you're just asking for somebody to move in or bust it up on it too. So, but I always do recommend people to buy a nice, you don't need a 27-foot travel trailer if you're a single dude. A 10-footer, it's fine for two people to do it on weekend road trips or holidays or days off. Take your girlfriend or your wife out to go have fun at some parks or travel down the road, see what the neighborhood's all about. And that's always a fun thing. But the good part is it's an emergency vehicle. You supply it with shit hit the fan situation stuff. Food, water. All you gotta do is hook it up to your truck and move out of the way. Come back after the disaster and wait for your insurance to hopefully cover it to rebuild your house. Meanwhile, you can stay out your lot in your travel trailer and wait for your contractor to show up and make sure they do the work right. Here you go. But at least you got a place to stay. You're not spending all that money at a hotel and going, oh my god. So, well, that's my long ass video. Sorry about that. I get talking. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.